everybody. Welcome to the Mindplex podcast. We are here for a special edition in Singapore at the SuperAI conference. And today we have the pleasure of speaking with Humayun Sheikh, founder and CEO of Fetch.ai, which is an open platform that provides tools to build innovative AI apps and services using agents. So first, tell us all about Fetch.
Hi, Lisa. It's great to be
Hey,
here.
thank you.
Fetch, we started around 5 years ago when AI was not the hype. And we started building AI application solutions, really. And the focus we have put on is on agents. And agents are effectively a piece of software which can be connected to any AI models, machine learning models, and it's rather than building this one monolithic AI system where you break it down into smaller chunks, which are emergent, kind of you see in emergent behavior, self and autonomous characteristics, which you can actually deploy different AI solutions with.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit more about Agentverse, the agentic network you were talking about right before we went on.
Yeah, so you hear a lot about LLMs, and you hear a lot about what LLMs are capable of, and we've all seen it with OpenAI's ChatGPT. That's all chatting, but when you come to actually deploying actions, you need a kind of a piece of software or something which actually enables you to do things. So, for example, if I need to connect with you somehow, you need my agent perhaps to connect with your agent. Yes, we want to do AI stuff, but how do you actually find different AI models? How do you find different AI actions to perform? That's done via the agents, and the agents are actually created and they discover each other using a network. So all the tools that you need to either deploy the agent, build the agent, and then to actually discover the agent is kind of packaged in this Agentverse product. It's a product name effectively, but it's really a network of agents which enable you to carry out and build applications, carry out tasks using AI.
Okay, neat.
We see a paradigm shift coming in software development, because at the moment you develop software in one monolithic system. You actually, if you break it down into smaller microservices, that's where the agents come in. Every microservice, every small service-oriented kind of piece of software is an agent effectively.
Okay, so this is really fascinating. Tell us about how the agent discovery works.
So if you deploy, there are different levels of agent discovery. So if you start from, let's say, what's my objective? If my objective is to find a cab, you then break it down into smaller tasks. So if you look at the chain of thought, you'll say, okay, I need a cab, so I need to know your location. I need to know the location of the cab, and I need to work a mechanism or use a machine learning model to find the most optimum route. So I need route planning. So if you now break it down into all those small portions, each portion is represented by an agent. So when you talk about search and discovery in the agents, what happens is you go from building a chain of thought to building a action model, and then that action model throws out what agents you need, and there is a whole network of agents which you can search based on what the objective is, and that's kind of how the search and discovery generally works. But ultimately, what you want to do is you want to connect the supplier and the consumer. So supplier of the service to the consumer of the service. So you can start and deliver the whole application on the fly by connecting all these agents, and then ultimately connecting the supplier and the consumer.
Neat. Okay, so what's a real world example of how this would work in
Well, I
terms
mean,
of?
we kind of discussed the cab example,
Oh,
and
right.
that's one of the things which you see.
Sorry.
in decentralization.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you already
It's
gave an
very
example.
no, no, but that's just an example. But there are others which I can take you through. For example, if
Okay.
you're booking a travel, if you're booking your travel, if you're looking for a gig economy person. So I mean, I think the easiest one to start with is, for example, the easiest one you could think of is you see websites. Websites are old paradigm. The change in paradigm which is coming with AI is that you don't interact with the websites in the way you do at the moment, which is you don't just go Google and you then do a search and then you find the website and then you go through the information on the website. Instead, if you just change the paradigm a little bit, the way you act with the agents is you ask your agent and you say, okay, here's what I need to find. So go find me a C++ developer, for example. You don't have to worry about one platform and another platform. So you ask your agent, go find me a C++ developer who's got 5 years of experience and whatever your requirements are. And on the other side, every developer will have their own agent. So what happens is that you don't need this intermediary in the middle, which is the intermediary kind of middleman platform. That completely disappears with this kind of agentic approach. And then suddenly what you have is the search kind of becomes less onerous on the person who's searching, but more easy to just define the objective and then you go and find the person.
So it's already narrowed down, and then it kind of negotiates. The agents can follow
Find each
through.
other, they can connect with each other, they can actually book an appointment for you with each other. So you don't have to say, okay, I need to go to LinkedIn, I've got to search all of these people, and then I'm going to send a message to them, and then maybe they reply to you, maybe they don't. Then you have to kind of find a way to connect with them and then book an appointment with them. So all of that, without having a middle platform, you can carry out with the agents. Now, don't forget, I mean, AI is kind of the backbone of all of this, because how you find them, how do you connect with them, how do you assess what the objective is, it's all done via, either a combination of large language models or other machine learning models. And then in terms of optimization, calendar time optimization, all of that is done via AI in the background. But actually, if you think about it, the user doesn't need to know any of this.
Right. It's just about refining the user experience, and so narrowing things down and presenting them with options and things like that. And it's funny when you describe the search process, it seems so laborious now. The way you talk about it, we go here and we look there and then we cross check there and all that stuff. And it's
Well, sometimes you're going to have to do that because,
but
especially if you're looking for
right,
knowledge, yeah,
right.
information,
But
yeah.
maybe the agents can get you to the point where now you're just doing the search on the question on the thing you actually have to think about, instead of all this other stuff, right? That it's thought that it's figured out for you because you have your pre-configured preferences. And how do they pre-configure those preferences? So if I was setting it up to go look for these people like you were talking about, and I'm putting it in, that's a kind of a good example because you're basically putting in the requirements that you would have for someone that you want to hire. Is it just like a form you're filling out? Does it ask you questions?
It,
How
it could be it could be any. I mean, that's the beauty of the whole agentic
it's how you
system
set it
is
up.
you set it up, you
Okay.
choose your user interface, whatever. You can do multimodal system. You can just talk to it. I mean, we in Fetch, we only like last month we started just all our hiring processes via agents now. We don't, you can just go and fill in a form. You can actually speak to your agent, tell them what you do, connect your CV, connect your calendar. It books an appointment, finds you, searches you. So it's not like it's future. It's happening right now. It just needs to get better.
It'll just get better and better, right, from the learning. Great. Hey, before we go, I would love to hear your perspective on the recent ASI merger, the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance.
Sure. I mean, it's exciting times. We have to provide an alternative to centralized solutions, and I think what was quite clear that between Fetch, Singularity, and Ocean, we had the tech stack, which combined together is much more powerful, and it provides the market a much better tool set to actually deploy and actually build applications based on AI. Because, you know, AI, there's a lot of research on AI and there's a lot of useless kind of information around, especially when the hype's up. But really what we want is to convert the technology into a commercial application. And to do that, you really need, you know, the stack that we're building. As this merger progresses, the technical stack will become very clear. But you start from the data, you start also then bring in the machine learning models, then you bring the application tools. And if you put it all together, it kind of becomes a very powerful tech stack. And that's the objective really with the ASI merger, but there's more kind of news and there's more information coming out soon.
Yes, it will be very soon. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us about Fetch and the ASI merger. And in general, it was great talking to you and learning about. It's the first time I had heard of an agentic network, even though we talk about networks of agents all the time. It really seems like this stuff is just dream stuff. I remember dreaming about this stuff like 20 years ago, right? And this is like really exciting time to be alive, watching it happen. Yes,
yeah, it's getting
very
real.
exciting. But thank you so much for coming on. And
great speaking to you guys.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and we will we'll see everybody later. Sweet dreams.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.